Hello and welcome to Delta Staffing, the only channel that brings to you up-to-date job posting. Today, we have an interesting requirement which we are going to be reviewing here together. Please join me as we review it. But before then, please do not forget to subscribe, turn on your notification, like, and of course, leave me a comment in the comment section below so I can understand what your mindsets are, what type of requirement you would like to see from a remote information technology job perspective. Without wasting much of your time, let's jump right into it, right? So today we are going to be reviewing the cybersecurity architect role from NBC Universal. And as you see here, this is going to be a remote opportunity. Now, if you want to go into the office, by no means you can. Now, this role says if you want to go into the office, it's actually based out of New Jersey, but I'm telling you now based on experience because I know, and trust me, I know that the office space is not in New Jersey, but it's in New York, New York. With that being said, let's jump right into it, right? So NBC Universal to describe the company, they create, content. They are content creators. They own and operate leading entertainment and brands, including NBC, NBC News, MSNBC, CNBC, NBC Sports, Telemundo, and a host of others, right? So, NBC Universal is a subsidiary of Comcast Corporation. That's one thing, that you need to know. Without wasting much time, let's jump straight into the job description. So what NBC Universal is looking for? NBC Universal is really looking for a cybersecurity architect to be part of the NBC Universal cybersecurity team. This technical position is an individual contributor who will partner with the various NBC Universal businesses, enterprise IT, and other cybersecurity teams to ensure technology is designed and deployed securely and aligned with cybersecurity and enterprise technology strategies. Now, let me try to see if I can summarize that. So, picture a team, an enterprise team. You are the cybersecurity guy, this role, right? You're being hired. You would work with maybe the Salesforce team, you work with the AWS team, you work with the Universal Data Fabric team. What you're working with them to understand is how secure the application is, right? From an external attack, internal, whatever the type of, cybersecurity attack it could be. Or could it be the team exposing themselves to be attacked, right? So you are the cybersecurity guy. You would have to understand setting up cybersecurity procedures in place or checks in place to make sure that this business, these business teams are not exposing themselves to risk or attack. So, for example, I can tell you, based on experience, I've had a cyber team member or a cyber lead. Every year they do a one-time audit, or every quarter, or every mid-year they could do, or every 6 months they could do a audit on your application to make sure that you've implemented it right. Now, so from my place of experience as a Salesforce architect, I've had cyber teams come and do an audit, and they want to see, are you implementing a multi-factor authenticator? Do you have single sign-on? How long can the user check the single sign-on box to keep them logged in, which is not a good practice, right? Do you have a log table where you log all your errors and all the exceptions that are being triggered within the application? How often do you delete those logs, right? Do you have a table where you just store data that needs to be deleted? How often do you delete, and what is your process of deleting those data, right? Because you cannot just go into an enterprise application and start deleting data. It is not best practice. Do you have personal health information, PHI? How are you protecting those? Do you have values or records or inputs into your system that needs to be encrypted. How are you encrypting them? Do you have files? What are your retention policies? How often do you delete these files? I mean, the system can only hold as much document as it could. So if you have a whole lot of documentation, you're going to cause the system to perform slowly, right? And it's not best practice. These are the kind of things you need to put in place, right? And then you work with the various teams to make sure that these are being implemented and implemented correctly. So without wasting your time, let's go back to this. So the successful candidate will be joining NBC Universal at an exciting time as we evolve our process and services. They will be conducting security consulting engagement across the business and drive process improvement in threat modeling and risk evaluation. In addition to consulting engagement, this person will create architecture references, design patterns, and security guidance where needed. There will be a subject matter expert on one or more technical security topics, such as cloud or networking, and will mentor and serve as a reviewer for other team members building threat models. Finally, a successful candidate must effectively communicate the importance of critical programs and service within the NBC Universal Cybersecurity Organization to obtain support, trust, and buy-in from the business. Your qualifications: 8 years of experience defining and influencing technical security strategy, architecture, and design. Strong experience supporting and advising on tactical security initiatives. A firm understanding of enterprise level IT applications and infrastructure, and experience designing and deploying secure solutions. So you need, if you're being hired for this role, when you get in, you need to understand the system landscape, right? How many applications does this organization run? What is integrated with the other application? Um, how are deployments done within each of those applications? What is the release calendar? When is code freeze? You need to just understand all of this based on what is being described here. And also experience designing and deploying secure solutions. So understanding what kind of solution is a secure solution. And of course, how is deployment handled? Is it a continuous implementation kind of deployment, or it's a manual deployment where it needs human interaction? Strong critical thinking, analytical reasoning, and thought leadership capabilities. Without reading through all of this, I'm just scanning it through. Ability to evaluate the security and threat associated with software as a solutions. Practical experience with using, deploying, and or supporting cybersecurity tools. Willingness to provide mentorship to more junior security engineers and analysts within the team. So based on me reviewing this, I can tell you who is suitable for this role. If you've done cybersecurity for 3 to 5 years and you know what you're doing, I would say apply to this role. If you've done not necessarily cybersecurity, but you're looking at switching to cybersecurity, now if you go on the career website, you would find other cybersecurity roles, but they are not necessarily the senior staff ranked, right? You can start from there, apply to those ones if you've implemented tools where you had to think of from a security perspective. How are you setting up roles and profiles? How are you making sure that a marketing team member is not necessarily supposed to see what they are not supposed to see from a sales member layout? Now, from an hierarchical standpoint, how do you set up the application if it is not an out of the box functionality that a junior staff is not seeing what record is owned by the senior staff? Those are the framework that you kind of take into learning cybersecurity. So if you've had a little bit of experience and you want to switch to the cybersecurity space, By all means, go on Udemy, buy your course, study it, and start applying for jobs. Not necessarily this one, because this is for senior staff role, but you can go on their career website and also apply for cybersecurity roles for junior staffs. And it's there. I saw it before I actually um, reviewed this one with the team. So if you're in the cybersecurity space, you have 3 to 5 years experience, please by no means apply to this role. Desired characteristics, a strong understanding of common services used in cloud-based architecture with expertise in at least one cloud vendor, AWS, GCP, and Azure. An awareness of cloud platform security and controls. If you remember what I just spoke about, setting up roles, profiles, permission sets, layouts, single sign-on, multi-factor authenticator, all those. Yeah, this is what that is talking about. A strong understanding of secure application development and the tools, techniques used to ensure that associate threats are mitigated. Experience addressing consumer data regulations through security controls and solution designs. If you remember when I was talking about knowing the kind of data that should be encrypted, knowing what a PHI is, your personal health information, and how you're safeguarding those type of data, understanding when, records should be poached from the system, understanding your retention policy from a documentation standpoint or a storage standpoint, understanding your integration. So an API integration could be a REST integration or SOAP integration. So understanding the security threat that you are exposing your system to by actually using the endpoint URL of the other application to actually, sync data between both applications. So you need to understand how to securely grab data from the other application and also send information to the third party application. I think that's very important. Experience incorporating regulatory and industry standards into cybersecurity designs. Let's talk about compensation. So the compensation for this role is actually ranging from 150 to 185. Like I've always said, remember to negotiate. There's nothing stopping you from getting the 185, even though you live in a place like Texas or you live outside of New Jersey, New York. You could always still get this 185 with executive approval. Um, Ask for a one-time sign-on bonus, ask for performance-based bonus based on your band and the company profit margin. Ask for shares. It's not wrong to ask, especially if they like you, but do not ask for this before the interview. Ace your interview, let them like you, and then you can request what you want, right? With that being said, please feel free, go through this job requirement. I'll be putting the job link down below in the description section of this video. Go through this job and apply. If you have any questions around applying, you can leave me a comment in the comment section. I have a close knitted relationship with Nbcuniversal. You can leave me a comment in the comment section if you need my help. If you want to review resume with me, I'm there. So my cybersecurity guys, this is the requirement that we had for today. Please remember to subscribe, turn on the notification button, like, leave me a comment. With that being said, remain blessed and talk to you soon.